So are we ready to celebrate Christmas now? Let us start with Muhabba.
Muhabba. Muhabba takilenas. Kelekun Muhabba Lesia. John 13:34. Love one another. Muhabba ta'ala fi hayatai. Muhabba alima bikalasu. Ala huwa kimu anasei. Shanikida anabikuna lehuo. Kanifibatani kanifikuwezi wa maana. He has promised he will be with me forever. Surely goodness and love will follow me every day. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Mahala nina indugua. Alibidemi kulugua tashitan. With Yahweh we got authority to overcome every evil power. In the name of God, we will overcome every problem in our lives. In the name of God, we will overcome every situation in our lives. Kani dunia biga abana, lakini Yesu madisipo wana. Kani babatai mamatai abana, alatai anfisama muhaba tokifaya leana.
Asma.
Nina geni fi dunia dele zaman besibes. Kili muhabata nina geni gowi. Muhabata raji lemara kili geni gowi. Ashar asasa beta kunde we geni gowi. Muhabata jeran lejeran kili geni gowi. Deo bijibu salam fi mushtama. No evil shall come in the midst. In the name of God we overcome. In the name of God we will overcome every problem in our lives. In the name of God we will overcome every situation in our lives. In the name of God we will overcome every situation in our lives.
My YouTube is Paul Zongo Official. PaulZongo. Then you write official. Official, you know how to write it. OFFICIAL. Some people they text me like, can you send us the song, or where can we buy your songs? Most of my songs are in social media. You can just go and write Paul Zongo. You get all the songs over there. So this song, the one I'm going to play right now, it's also in my social media. So it's not to attack the prophets, but it's to alert the believers who go to those churches to know whom they are going to meet, or whom are those people they're going to. According to me, I see believers, they see church like hospitals. Churches becomes like hospital. They want to go to this church. They're not going to church to meet God, but they are going to church to find solution for their problems. You know, like we go to hospitals. We always go to hospitals when we are sick. If I go to this hospital and they did not find solution for my sickness, I have to go and look for another hospital until I'll end up finding the best doctor who can treat me. So this is how most of the believers, they consider church as a place of treatment. They consider church like hospitals. They consider pastors or those prophets like doctors. They are not going there because they want God to heal them, but they are going there because they want the so-called prophet to lay hand on them so they can get healed. This is ridiculous. That's why I came out with this song, and it was meant to advise believers. Not every spirit comes from God. Those who are going to lay hands on you, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know their background, you don't know how they become prophets, how they're doing all this miracle. We don't know even this miracle if it's from God or not. And then we just accept to go and put our heads and let them lay their hands on us. That's why you're seeing in this generation, many people, they have lost sense. Those guys who pretends to be prophets, who pretends to become pastors, who pretends to be men of God, they are not there to bless you, but they are there to take from your blessing. Let's go.
Zamani nalisahai fi dunia Wedigi sintaki Fishoko tarabuna Rabuna vinaniita Kilinishtaka leyala Zamani nalisahoi fi dunia Wedigi sataki kulu Fishoko tarabuna Rabuna vinaniita Haya aliita nigo Rabuna ya uwedi lakini tawedi shinule ala Guru show intaligo Rabuna ya uwedi lakini tawedi shinule ala Hadia akuwesi wedi nefsata kile shoko tarabuna Hadia akuwesi wedi nefsata kile shoko tarabuna
Samuel, I did not go to the barbecue. I was home today.
Fina sitani bishtaka lera buna Magelba kulu zera buna azu Fina sitani bishtaka lera buna Lakin hagiga dele maslagu tomo But you will know them from their actions The way they behave in the house of the Lord You will know them from their behaviors, the way they behave in the house of the Lord. Be wise and know who you're calling your prophet, and know who you're calling your daddy. For their mission is to take from your blessings, and pretending they are preaching the gospel. You will know them from their behavior, you will know them from their actions, that they are not from God. Not every spirit comes from God. Do not believe in every spirit. You have to test whether it is coming from God. Cause many they are using their power and pretending is the power of God in action. Do not believe in every prophecy.
What do I mean by this? People, they don't trust in God anymore. People, they don't believe in God anymore. People, they start believing on whom they are seeing. If I'm seeing a prophet in front of me here, putting a nice suit, nice shining shoes, holding white handkerchief, looking good, then I'll say, yes, this is the man of God. I believe in this man, not in God, but they believe in human being. That's why you see people leaving their home churches, shifting to the miracle churches, not because they want to go and see God. And the worst part of it, they are going to buy solution of their problems. You see someone spending thousands of dollars to give it to a so-called prophet, to give it to a so-called man of God, thinking after giving that thousands of dollars to that person, then he or she will get solution. Instead, you are making the person more rich and you are running more poor. Yes, you are making the so-called prophet more rich and you are running more poor. The solution that you were thinking you're coming to get, you will never get it, but they will get more from you spiritually. They will take more from you. The money that you're spending, You are selling your own self to them. No one will understand me unless if you are spiritually brave. Do you know that those who have joined those so-called prophetic churches, today they have nowhere to leave that church? It's not because they don't want to leave that church, but they were held spiritually. There is conditions that was given. You don't have to go and pray in the other church. The day the pastor or the prophets lay hand on you, you need to remain in that church. You need to be a member of that church. If you want to start seeing God's miracle, if you want to see, because people are just running after miracle, so they will tell you, if you want to see God's miracle, this is where you have to be. And they will not force you to stay. You will find yourself, you don't have courage to leave that place. You are not seeing blessing. You're not seeing what you came there for, but you're still there. And you don't know why you are there. It's not physical. I always advise people, remain in your home churches, even if your pastor have one cloth. Your pastors, they don't have money. They don't have good building. That is your church. Remain in your home churches. Don't keep on changing churches like clothes. Today you change this trouser, tomorrow you change this trouser. You're changing churches like clothes. I don't know what you're looking for. Are you looking for blessing? Are you looking to meet God in person? That's why you're shifting from church to church. What are you looking for exactly? Be in your home church, even if your pastor has nothing. That is where God chose you to be. There's no church that will bless you like your home church. We need to be in our home churches because that is where our blessing will find us. Stop changing churches because there is danger. There is danger in this changing of churches. But there is blessing when you stick in one church. You will receive your blessing from God and you will never regret. The problem with us, we are so in hurry. We need everything to be fast. We need God to bless us very fast. We need miracles to happen very fast. We need to receive money very fast. Forgetting that God who created us, He sets time for everyone. He knows that at this time and this day, this year, you're supposed to be rich. He knows that in this time, this day, this year, you're supposed to get married or to get children. All these things, it is set by God. But we don't want that. We want everything to happen very fast. That's why we leave our churches, we go to look for prophets so that they can answer our prayers very fast. You don't know that blessing where it's coming from. You can have it very fast as you want. But you don't know the consequences of that blessing, that the so-called blessing you got from that prophet. You don't know what is going to happen after. You don't know what is going to happen in your family after. I don't want to go deeper. There is a lot of consequences that happens when we happen to look for fast blessing. Everything to be happening fast. So we have to be very careful which church we go. And we have to be very careful whom are the people that we are giving our head so that they can lay their hands, because we don't know what they are taking from us. We don't know what they are doing in our lives. I have many people that I met, they came to me and told me how their life was before them meeting the prophets, the so-called prophet, and how their life is after them meeting the so-called prophet. They're struggling now. They're suffering. And after all this suffering, they are still in those churches, in those so-called prophetic churches. It's not because they don't want to leave. For them, even if you ask them, okay, why are you still in that church? They will not even have answer to tell you because they don't know why they're still there. It's not physically. It is spiritually. So guys, be careful. You see nowadays, especially when you're going on the roadside, you see people putting posters visit our church, visit our church. And when they're putting their topics of Sunday topics, they'll put a very strong topic, a very powerful one. You would see like, wow, today this Sunday is going to be fire. I have to go and see this church. I have to go and see that pastor. I have to go and see that prophet. Because of the title that you saw in the poster on the roads, many people now they are regretting. Because most of those so-called men of God, they are not using godly power. They're having spiritual power, which is coming from somewhere. We know it. Until we happen to go to the studio and record such kind of songs, it's because we know what is behind those so-called prophets. We know the power behind them. Those churches, they might have thousands of people, comparing to the church where you're coming from. Maybe your church used to have only 5 or 10 people, or even 100 people. But you're going to the church that is having thousands of people, and you're thinking like, because God is there, that's why people are thousands. No, God is not there. You don't know what is behind the men standing on stage. You don't know what is hidden under the ground. You don't know what is happening behind the scene. You don't know. But you're just seeing thousands of people whom are there. Those thousands of people whom are there, they're also coming from their different churches. You don't know which power brought them out from their churches to that same place. We don't need miracle from those guys so we can reach where we are. You just need to connect yourself with God. God is everywhere. God is not only in the church, a prophetic church. God is not only there so that everyone can just go there. No, God is in your house. God is in your room. God is in your bedroom, bathroom. Even if when you're taking shower, God is there. You can call God at any time. God will show up to you. You don't need to take transport. You don't need to travel all the way to go and meet those prophets so that you can receive miracles. So that's why I always advise people. You don't need to risk your life because you don't know those guys. You don't know what they do the whole night before reaching morning so that they can come and show miracles on stage. You don't know. Don't just go and put your life in stress. Don't just go and you mess up your life and you regret the rest of your life. They've spent all of their money to those churches and now they run broke. They have no money. They spent all those monies because they thought they were going to buy a blessing. They thought they're going to buy a blessing from the man of God. But they end up coming back without anything. And one thing I will tell you guys from those prophetic churches, the day you step in to that church and you were laid hand by the men of God that they call them, if you did not receive what you wanted and you decided to leave that church to go to another church, just know that you have already carried curses with you from that church and you are going with it the rest of your life. Because the condition in those churches is the day the men of God lay hands on you, you have no right to leave the church, to shift to another church. You have to be the member of that church the rest of your life until we don't know when. That's why you see many people who left those prophetic churches see their lives are not the same. They might not tell you, but if you are so spiritual, you will see this person is not the same the way we used to know. You see someone start speaking some languages that you don't even know, like this person is praying or he's talking to who? And when you ask them, they'll say, we're speaking in tongue. Man, my friend, speaking in tongue can be translated. Speaking in tongue, it has people who can translate it. So you find everyone in the church, they're just speaking. And when you say, what's that? They say they're speaking in tongue, they're talking to God. Man, that is not speaking in tongue. You're just making noise in the church. So that is how you know the level of mental problems start getting in, because you left the church where that man laid hand on you, and now you're in another church. Those guys, they fight each other. Those men of God, those soul men of God, the big men of God, they fight each other. They compete each other. So they will not be happy to see you who was in that church and you go to another church. They will not be happy. That's why they put conditions. You need to the day you step in that prophetic church, you have to be the member of that church. You have to be an active member of that church. Every Sunday you have to be there. If there is overnight, you have to be there. If there's fasting, you have to be there. If there is anything in the church, you have to be, and you have to be contributing money. There is something that will be pushing you every time, even if you get your salary. You have to bring your salary to the church for no reason, because we know that there's something called 10%. You have to give it to God. But some people, they give all of what they have. All they have, they will give it to the church. You're giving many, but you're receiving nothing. Nowadays, we have already reached the time that they say the time of the end, that you start seeing fake prophets. You start seeing people who will be talking about Jesus and they don't know even who's Jesus. So we have to be very careful which church we go. The church is just a gathering of people to pray together and to have fellowship together. But it doesn't mean when we gather all of us, then God will come in. No. God is everywhere. God is within me. I can even be here in my home studio and pray. God will listen to me. God is not only in the church. It doesn't mean I have to go and look for a Sunday service somewhere so I can go and pray, then God will listen to my prayer. No. If you know that you are a sinner, God will forgive your sin from your home. It's all about your connection with God. When you wake up in the morning, think of connecting your spirit with God by calling God's name. God, I submit my day into your hand. God, I submit this journey into your hands. If you're traveling, God, I submit this journey into your hand. If you're going to walk, I submit my walk into your hand. Just connect yourself with God and you will be seeing God's blessing into your life. You don't need to go to church so you can pray just for you to cover the whole week on that Sunday. You want to cover Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until Sunday on that one Sunday. No. That's where the Bible says you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That love, we show it when we meet in the church. Church, actually, for me, I call it the place we're supposed to build our relationships, to build our love. As the Bible says, let us love one another. That's where we show in the church. When we go to church every Sunday, is to build this relationship. I did not see my friend for the past 1 week. I saw him on Sunday. Hi, brother, I'm happy to see you. You know, we are building our relationship as according to the Bible. Love one another. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That is meeting in the church, fellowship. But it's not mean that you're going on Sunday to meet God there. No. You already came with God from your home. God is in you. God is not in the church. God is in you. God is with you everywhere you go. God is not only in the church. God is in your house. God is in your bathroom. God is in your car. God is at your workplace. God is within you. We move with God. We don't meet God in the church. Put it in your mind. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Paul Zongo. May God bless you.